When you look at what's been successful prior in the market, where there's full games, even when you think back to the original PSP launching with Wipeout, a disc with a full game on it, that's the sort of content that Sony's behind and looking for, and we're expecting to differentiate it away from other portable consoles like the DS and all the rest of it. Where I think it changed was Apple and the word and phrase apps, right? Smaller, bite-sized micro programs, effectively, some of them, or smaller contained games that, I mean, simple games are just pressing a button to jump, but they do huge numbers because they're cheap, and they're much cheaper to make, and they're much cheaper to buy. And I think that kind of forced the hand a little bit on the minis thing as well. You know, it was like, well, you know, the game price on PSP was, you know, anything $15 or something, $20 for a game that you're going to download off the store. Where was the $1 market? And I suppose that kind of not forced it, but helped minis become a reality. Personally, I thought the quality of most minis wasn't really sufficiently good enough. But again, you know, as the App Store is ruthless as well, the quality of many apps is not very high either. It doesn't mean that they're not fun. It's just that from a quality point of view, Sony would have a different agenda. They should be aiming higher than that, right? I've only been in this indie scene myself now for 12 months, really. Obviously, I was doing design consultancy in with Playbox and, well, Atomicom, and Magenta Software, which is where I met Chris. And so this is all kind of new to me, but there is a hub in what's called the Baltic Triangle of small developers and small publishers as well. You've got Ripstone there, you've got Sawfly, then you've got, you know, Clemence's company, Setgo and stuff. You've got Curly Rocket, which is Martin Linklater, and he's in with Lucid. So Lucid is probably the biggest of those studios at the moment. But they're all in this one sort of area, and I suppose there is an indie scene of sorts, but it's still, you know, finding its way and finding its feet at the moment. There's another new company starting up, Extra Life, and that has some of the best people from Liverpool studio in it as well, so that should be quite interesting to see what they come up with. And so it's there. I don't think it's gelling as an indie scene as such at the moment, but there is the Northwest Development Group where people are talking and introducing, and I think if you interview Martin Linklater, he'll be able to tell you more about it. We've actually been heads down concentrating on what we're doing for now, but you know, it's I had a conversation just before we came out here with a woman from the Liverpool Community College that runs a game course, and they want us to come and talk to the guys and talk to the kids that are doing that. And I think it's aimed specifically at sort of underprivileged or, you know, kids that had a tough time at school or something like this. But it's just, there's an opportunity there to sort of go and give them a quick dose of reality about what the App Store is and how it works and how hard it is to make it on there. And you know, everybody sits there as indies dreaming of millions of dollars and all the rest of it, but it's fiercely competitive out there. Yeah, I mean, the Northwest Indies group does have regular meetings. I think there's about one every quarter. And I think the more of that they do, the better, where people will start getting familiar and finding out who's got what technology, who's available, who's ready for contract, who's, you know, at the moment there's a cluster of lots of smaller, you know, even independents like Paul Ripley, you know, Phasic Labs, has done his own things, but again, these are all separate. His games are his own sort of evening work, and his main job is contracting into developers as a contractor. So, you know, I don't think many people who have put stuff out on the App Store yet have managed to make turn it into their source of income and claim that independence. Really, you know, that's the bit that I'm really proud of what we've done. We did borrow money, you know, we took investment money to get it to where we got it to. And we also took a big decision to self-publish when we were looking for a publisher. And I think we've been largely successful with that. And lots of developers now in Liverpool are asking us, what happened? How did it happen? How did you make it? You know, how did you find the success? And we'll share that with anyone. Absolutely. I mean, how does, you know, that's the whole point of some sort of community, isn't it? Is to learn from each other and try and move things forward for everybody.